Hello, Agathis and viewers. This week we're going to talk about humility. What does this mean, and how it is actually affecting your life? Is it stopping you from being successful? I come from a Christian family, and my mom was an evangelist. I was raised in all Christian values, and even more, I loved God with all my heart right from childhood up. There was a short period in time from my college I wasn't in the Lord, but prior to that, until my school days, I was completely in the Lord, and humility was something that we were trained to aspire for. So we were trained not to boast about ourselves. We were trained not to, show off our achievements. We were trained to give respect and recognition and praise to people who are above us. So what ended up happening when I kind of fostered these morals into my life was that I was failing big time. After my college, I used to not be able to crack interviews, and I would not be able to take away jobs because I kind of misunderstood the concept of humility with my low self-esteem. Uh, there were times, even after 10 years of me being on the job, where people who were reporting to me in some way or the other, or who were my colleagues, their career trajectory was way ahead of mine. And it happens even now, even in the last recent 5 years. I passed out of college, I worked on a job, and then I had took a mid-career break to pursue my academics. And after my academics, after my master's degree was over, I tried to search for a job, and here I am, not able to crack up interviews again. Not just interviews, I also was not able to professionally grow any bit. And that was because I thought somehow that I had to be humble. I should not boast about myself. In the process of me not boasting about myself, whatever the achievements that I had actually made, I did not dare to talk about it or showcase that to my whoever interviewed me. And last week I was talking to my husband about it as to how Christianity completely failed me because I was so humble, and in the process of being humble, I was not able to articulate my achievements, and I did not boast about myself, but people who are much junior to me are way ahead of me. They're VPs and directors in companies because they are able to better articulate and they are proud about their achievements and they boast about it. And my husband just told me something that hit me. He said that Christians mistake humility with low self-esteem. It's not humility that puts them down. It is the lower self-esteem in themselves. He showed me examples from the Bible how Jesus was humble, but he did not have a low self-esteem. I asked, what is the difference between humility and low self-esteem? He says that humility is knowing your worth and not boasting about it. Lack of self-esteem is not knowing your worth or you feeling worthless and then not speaking about it. So, humility on one end is you recognize your strengths, you recognize your capabilities, you recognize what you can achieve, and you don't just go megalomaniac about it. You understand that these are God's gifts, and these gifts are operative in other human beings as well. These are not exclusive, like some of the politicians who feel that they are, they cannot be replaced, or they're unique talents and there's nobody who can match up to their skills. That is pride. But humility is opposite of that, which would mean that you have the talent, so does your colleague. You have certain skills, so does anybody who can pick it up. So that is humility. And when you have humility, when the need arises, you do speak about your achievements in a more humble and a subtle way. You showcase your employers what you have achieved thus this far. But having a low self-esteem, like who I was uh, earlier, would mean that you're feeling worthless no matter how much you achieve in life. You feel worthless. It could be because of parental abuse in your early childhood days, or it could be because of a friend or a lover who ditched you in your college. But no matter what, if you're feeling worthless deep within, that showcases to your employers or to those who interact with you every day as well. You kind of, this low self-esteem kind of shows out as a need for acceptance, and this need for acceptance comes out as being desperate for a job or desperate for a relationship, and that is the primary difference. So Christians most of the time mistake low self-esteem for humility. This was completely revelational for me. And the biblical examples he gave about Jesus, how he stood firm, he was proud to be the Son of God. He was proud to say that I am the way, I am the light. It was not that he was boasting about himself. He was humble, but he knew his worth, and he knew how much God loved him and how much he would be the reason for salvation for mankind. So here you see Jesus being humble, but he knew the word. He didn't feel worthless. The only person who was above him was God, but he did not feel worthless before man. So this is an important takeaway for me, because all the while I had mixed up humility with lower self-esteem, and a perspective change into humility and moving away from lower self-esteem would kind of transform my life, I hope. So I thought this is something that the Agape Citizen viewers need to take a look upon. Think about it. What is affecting you? Are you humble, or do you have lower self-esteem? Try to recognize it. Einstein said 99% of the solution comes when 1% problem is identified. So you need to identify what is stopping you in life. Why are you failing in life? Are you having a low self-esteem, or do you mistake it for humility and do not boast about yourself, or do not boast about your worth? Think about it, and I would take you through my series of how to get over your lower self-esteem through Jesus Christ, and I hopefully trust God will use me to enhance your life. Subscribe to this channel, log on to my Facebook page, Agape Citizen, and you would have a tons of biblical resources as it's intended to be, free and completely enhancing based on the Word of God. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and we can stay in touch through the Facebook page as well. See you and have a great day.